Afternoon. Thanks for everybody for being here. Much needed win on Saturday night on the road at TCU. We've got a lot of respect for Gary and his staff, and that's they've done a great job with that venue too. And it's a tough place to go into and win. Gary's won most of his home games there, and so really proud of our staff, our players. Really not only for the outcome, but just our response over the last 2 weeks. I think it's been really positive. Definitely our most consistent performance of the year. I think if you look at the keys to the win, okay, so why? I think there's three real clear reasons why we won the game. Number one is turnover margin. We had 3 takeaways, and I really feel like they all 3 were takeaways. I thought we created those. Daryl Porter steps in front and snatches the ball on his pick. Charles Woods made an aggressive play on his interception, and then Sean Mahone rips the ball out. And then 0 turnovers on offense. So I think that's the first key is turnover margin. Second one was rushing. We ran the ball for 229 yards. They ran it for 149. We averaged 5.6 yards per carry. They averaged 4.4. And then the third thing, which is sometimes overlooked, but it can't be when they're explosive as they are on offense, is we ran 70 plays. They ran 60. And then we had the ball for 35 minutes. They had it for 24, which it's really about third and fourth downs. We were able to convert at a higher rate than they were. And so thus we had the ball longer. Thus we had more plays. And so I think those are the keys. Reviewing the game on special teams, Casey Legg, I was proud of him for getting rewarded by the Big 12. He's been outstanding all year on field goals, and he saved us with his kickoffs. We did several specialty kicks after they returned the one. Overall special teams, I was disappointed that we did not kind of meet our standards there. The opening kickoff, we were not very good on our own kickoff return. I thought we had a chance on the one after we made them re-kick, and we didn't do as good a job as we should have. We missed 2 opportunities for pooch punts. We just not a clean game there. Defensively, I think Jordan and Shadon and really our entire staff thought we had a great plan. We limited a very, very good offense. You're talking about a team that was one of the top rushing teams in the country. They were 1, 2, or 3 in almost every statistical category in the Big 12 coming into it. Only allowed 10 points on defense and 0 in the second half. And so 3 takeaways, like I talked about. Thought our rush defense was solid. We knew it wasn't going to be a deal where we were going to shut out the run. The 2 running backs, their offensive line, they've done a really good job, kind of building that offensive line up over the 3 years we've been here. I think they're really good, and the 2 running backs, Evans is special, and the other one, Miller, is really good as well. And I thought our tackling and our communication was at a much higher level than it was the previous 2 games. Offensively, it's the best rhythm we've had. 0 turnovers, very few negative plays. Then we had a sack, and now the sack was a big one because we had a touchdown if we could have gotten it off. But very few TFLs in the game. Thought our O-line played the best game, our interior 3 especially. I thought Gamitter, who's kind of under the radar, been a really solid player for us all year. Frazier's played at a high level, and then Nestor played his best game. Our rushing attack, we were physical. Mathis gave us a big lift. I was excited for him and excited for all of us. He gave us 20-something plays. And the other thing, too, that gets overlooked a little bit is 0 3 and outs. Obviously we've got to get better at scoring touchdowns in the red zone. That for the type of production we had by drive, that game should have been in the mid-30s or mid-30s, low 40s, if we're scoring touchdowns. Kind of go over our weekly awards. Y'all saw them yesterday. We released them, but I'll kind of tell you the why. Obviously, Casey Legg was our special teams. He 3 or 4 field goals. Had a 49-yarder, had 6 kickoffs, and they only had eight total return yards on his 6 kickoffs. And that's something that was big. Defense player of the week, Charles Woods for us. His stats speak for himself. Had 2 big plays. I was probably as proud. They hit him on an explosive pass in the second quarter, and he was able to bounce back and played at a high level. Letty was our offense player of the week. 24 carries, 111 yards, I think is what he had. And I thought he did a really nice job in protection as well. It wasn't a game that really set up for him to be a real threat in the pass game because we needed his help with the ends. And so and I thought unselfishly he did that and carried the ball and really had a good week. Our offensive lineman of the week was Zach Frazier. He graded out 91% and had 63 production points. He's just played really well. I'm excited not only for this year for him, but the future as well. A couple other awards we give that are kind of program type awards. Our blue collar award, we give one to offense and one to defense. These are guys that do the work behind the scenes that maybe don't make the splash plays, but offensively, Michael Laughlin, he was really good. I thought he was a key force in the run game. Caught 4 balls. Thought he was good after the catch. Defensively it was Josh Chandler. He graded out 87% and had 12 solos and 4 assists. And then he had a huge 4th down TFL. And he's played good football all year. And then our scout team players were Marquand Rucker, Comasius Mosby, and Caleb Coleman. And so Rucker, West Virginia guy, he's done a tremendous job for us all year on the scout team. And then Mosby's a great program kid, and Caleb Coleman is somebody that's really come along that I like his future here. So that was the awards. Kind of flipping over here to Iowa State. I think we're catching them playing their best football of the year. They're a team that gets better, and much has been said about their October record. But it was a big win on Saturday versus Oklahoma State for them. A lot of respect for what Coach Campbell and his staff have done there. Looking at them special teams, they're very sound in all phases. Their kicker that transferred in, he's got a lot of touchbacks, which is something that, the fewer kicks you have to cover, the better your chances are going to be. And he's kicked a lot of them out of the end zone. And they do a nice job with their kickoff return. And obviously that was something that got exposed from us the other day. And they're a threat. They haven't returned many this year, but in the past, just playing against them and scouting them, I know that's something they do a good job. Offensively, they do a really nice job with their scheme. They're a little bit unique in how they play as far as having 2 tight ends they play a lot and a fullback they play. They have answers. It's a veteran group. If you look on offense and defense, I think of the guys that play, on offense, I counted 8 seniors and 4 juniors with 1 sophomore. And if you look at all their key players, we talk about Brock Purdy. He's a senior. He's heady. He's a really good runner. Does a nice job, especially once they get down the red zone with that. The ball gets out of his hand fast. He hurts you on third downs. That's where he was really effective versus us last year. He scrambled around. He's a senior. Breece Hall is a junior. And he's been productive for all 3 years. You're talking about a guy that's probably in the Heisman Trophy race. He was last year. He's playing his way into it this year. And then the tight ends, Kohler and Allen, those guys are good blockers, but they're threats in the passing game. And then the Hutchinson kid is the leading receiver in the league. And they target him a lot, and he makes a lot of contested catches. And their O-line really comes off the ball. They're physical. And I think they do a really good job as a cohesive unit, doing what they're asked to do. You look at defensively, unique scheme. Maybe not as unique as it once was, because there's, in our profession, there's a lot of copycats and there's a lot of people that are copying what they do. But they're the whole premise of it is to get 8 eyes where they see you at all times. So nothing's easy. It's a veteran group. First of all, it's a veteran defensive coordinator that has answers, doesn't get rattled. Very seldom do you have success with the same play twice. And it's a veteran group that you look at it, 7 seniors, 2 juniors, 2 sophomores. And both sophomores have been playing. This is their second year playing. So it's a group that, I was laughing the other day, there's some guys on that defense that have been playing longer than some of our coaches have been coaching. It's they've been over there for a long time. But I think for them, to me, the scheme gets talked about and how they play 3 safeties. But what makes them great on defense and what's made them great really since I've been in the league, even before that, is their defensive line. They've got, at minimum 2 NFL players up there. McDonald is as good a pass rusher as in our league. I don't want to have an opportunity to mess up 58's name, but he is a load. His presence was definitely felt against us last year. And then Rose, At linebacker, he's special. He gives them the unique ability where he can play coverage, he can get in the box. He's a defense player of the year last year and for a reason, and he's playing at that level again. And their secondary, I think Young and Eisworth, they've played a lot of snaps back there. They're very good against the run, make it difficult to get over their heads. So just a defense that's playing well, and they've been, nationally to top in a lot of categories for several years now. And so huge challenge for us. Guys are excited. We're glad to get back home. Feels like we haven't been here for a really long time. So I know it's been over a month. Hopefully our fans will show up in big numbers and then have a good Halloween. That's the plan. We need them. And there's plenty of reasons to be here. It's a great college football game, Hall of Fame inductions, and so there's a lot of reasons to be here. And my hope is they'll show up and support our guys. So with that, I'll take questions.